In this video, I'm going to write a program to find the factorial value for a user given value using a Python programming language. Before writing the program, first let's understand what is a factorial value. Now, my task is I want to find the factorial value for 5. Now, I'm going to manually calculate the factorial value. Now, I'm going to manually find the factorial value for 5. To find the factorial value for 5, this is my user given value. Now, I need to find the factorial value for 5. To find the factorial value for 5, we need to multiply the value from 1 to till the user given value. If you see, if I multiply 1 into 2, I will get a result as a 2. Then 2 into 3, 6. 6 into 4, 24. 24 into 5, 120. If you see, the result is 120. This 120 is the factorial value for 5. Hope I am clear. I have one more scenario. The user given value is a 3. Now I need to find the factorial value for a 3. To find the factorial value for a 3, I need to multiply the value from 1. 1 into 2, we will get a result as a 2. 2 into 3, the result is 6. This 6 is the factorial value for my 3. Hope I am clear. Here, why I didn't add the 0? If I add the 0, if you see in this scenario, I need to find the factorial value for 5. When I add a 0, when I multiply with a 0, 0 into 1, I will get result as a 0. 0 into 2, 0. 0 into 3, 0. 0 into 4, 0. 0 into 5, 0. And the result is 0. So that I didn't add the 0. I didn't include the 0 while multiplying the value. Hope I am clear. What is my starting value? I need to start with the 1 and my ending value is, I need to multiply till the user given value. This 5 is the user given value, right? So that my starting value is 1 and my stop value is user given value. I'm going to use a range function and for loop. I'm going to use a for loop and range function. If you don't have a 100% clarity on for loop and a range function, first understand those topics, then come and watch this video. Without 100% clarity on for loop and a range function, you can't be able to understand this program. Anyways, let's write the code. First, I'm creating a 2 variables. My first variable is, using the first variable, I'm going to get a value from the users using an input function. Let's write the code first. I'm creating a variable called num and I'm using an input function to get a value from the users. Hope everyone know that our input function collect the user given value as a string. To now what I'm doing is using a typecasting. I'm going to typecast. I'm going to convert the string value into an integer value by typecasting. We all know that even though we give integer value, number value as an input, our Python interpreter consider our input function consider the integer value as a string. Now I am doing a typecasting. I am converting the string value into an integer value. In the next line, I am creating one more variable called fact and I am assigning 1 as my initial value. Then in the next line, I am using a for loop and I am naming for loop variable as a I. I am using a range function. What is my start value? Hope everyone aware of the rule of the range function. Within a range function, we can able to give the start value, stop value, and step value. Now I am giving my start value. My start value is 1. I need to start the multiplication from 1, and I need to stop at the user given value. And we all know that the range function stop value is exclusive. I am giving the stop value as a num plus 1 because it is an exclusive. The stop value is exclusive, so that I'm using a plus 1. Hope I'm clear. Next, I'm using a multiplication operation. I'm doing, once I wrote the code, I will trace the code. If you can't be able to understand, do not stress yourself. Once I trace the code, you will get 100% clarity. Now I'm calling the fact variable and I'm calling the fact variable value and I'm doing multiplication operation. And outside of my function, outside of my for loop, I am printing the value of fact variable. Before executing this program, let's trace this code. Our Python interpreter execute our Python program line by line. While executing the first line of my program, first it will execute the right side of my assignment operator. While executing the right side of my assignment operator, first it will execute the input function. While executing the input function, the message will print in my output console. Once the user give their value, once the user given their value, my input function collect the user given value as a string. Even though if we give a number value or a float value or a sign or a symbol, my input function consider the value as a string value. Now I converted the string value into an integer value using a typecasting. Then I am assigning the user given value to my num variable. Imagine the user given value is a 3. So that the input function collect the 3 value and assign to my num variable. Now my current num variable value is 3. Just a minute. current num variable value is hope you can able to see this. Num equal to 3 hash num equal to 3. Now my current num variable value is 3. In the next line I created a variable called fact and I assigned 1 as my value to my fact variable. In the next line I wrote a for loop. Within a for loop I named the for loop variable as a I and I use a range function, and within a range function my start value is 1 and my stop value is num plus 1. Why I give a num plus 1? Because the stop value is exclusive. What is the current value of a num? 3. 3 plus 1 4, so that the stop value is 4. In the next line, in the first loop there is a one person called iterator. In the first loop the range value is 1, so that my iterator fetch the one value. My iterator fetch the one value and assign to my I variable. In the first loop the range function value is 1, so that my iterator fetch the one value and assign to my I variable. Now my current I variable value is 1. If you see I equal to 1, then it will execute the body of my for loop. While executing this line, first it will execute my Python interpreter, execute right side of my assignment operator. This equal to is known as assignment operator. First it will execute the right side of my assignment operator. What's the current value of a fact variable? 1. 1 into what is the current value of I? 1. So that 1 into 1 we will get a result as a 1. Now I am assigning the one value. I am reassigning the one value to my fact variable. If you see here, I used a equal to operator. When I use a equal to operator, here I am assigning the result value to my fact variable. Once this line executed, once the body of for loop executed, again it will check the range function. Again it will, my Python interpreter execute the range function. Now my range value is 2. My now range value is 2. Then my iterator fetch the 2 value and assign to my I variable. Now my current I variable value is 2. Then once while executing the body of a for loop, what is the current value of a fact? 1. And what is the current value of I? The current value of I is 2. So that 2 into 1 we will get a result as a 2, and I am assigning the 2 value. I am reassigning the 2 value to my fact variable. Now my current fact variable value was 2. Fact current value is 2. Next, now my current fact value is 2. Once this line executed, again my Python interpreter checks the range function. And what is the stop value? The stop value is 4, so that till it will execute, the range function is true, and my current range value is 3. Then my iterator fetch the 3 value and assign to my I variable. Now my current I variable value is 3. Current I variable value is 3. Then the range function is true, so that it will execute the body of for loop. While executing the body of for loop, it will execute the right side of my assignment operator. What is the current value of a fact? 2. And what is the current value of I? 3. 2 into 3, we will get a result as a 6. Using this equal to operator, I am reassigning the 6 value to my fact variable. I am reassigning the 6 value to my fact variable. Now my current fact variable value is 6. The current, once this line executed, once the body of for loop executed, again my Python interpreter checks the range function. Now we reached the stop value. Stop value is exclusive, so that now we reached the stop value, so that my Python interpreter complete the execution of my for loop. And then once the for loop complete its execution, then my Python interpreter execute the next line of my for loop. In the next line of my for loop, I printed the value of a fact variable. What is the current value of a fact variable? 6. So that in my output console, the 6 will print. Let's execute this code. I am giving input value as a 3. And if you see, we got a result as a 6. I am re-executing my program, and I am giving input as a 5. If you see, we got output as a 120. I am re-executing my program, and I am giving 8 as my input. And if you see, we got 40,000 result. Next, I'm going to use a factorial pre-built functions that are available within a math module to find the factorial value for user given value. Our first task is we need to import the math module, then only we can able to use a factorial pre-built function. And now I'm going to clear this output console and program. I just need this input function and num variable. My first task is I need to import the math module, then only we can able to use the factorial pre-built function. Using an import keyword, we can able to import the math module within our program. We can able to use the factorial pre-built function within a print function, so that I'm using directly within a print function. Math dot, I'm calling the factorial function, and my input value is num. Let's trace this code before executing the program. First, I imported the math module. Why? Because this factorial pre-built functions are available within a math module. Only if we import the math module, then only we can able to use this factorial function. And in the next line, the input function will execute, the input function collect the value from the user, and whatever the value given by the user, this input function will assign to my num variable. Imagine the user given values of 5. So that using this equal to operator, the 5 value assigned to my num variable, and within a print function. First, I entered into math module. Within a math module, we will have a hundreds of pre-built function. Within a math module, we will have a hundreds of pre-built functions. So that first I enter into math module, then I am calling the factorial function. While calling the factorial function, I am passing an argument, and what's the current value of a num? 5. So that the num value will pass. Okay, I'm clear. Let's execute this code. If you see, I'm giving input values of 5, we got a correct results. Next, I'm giving input value as a 8, and we got a same result. That's it for this video. Stay tuned. Thank you.